Hiya, you find me behind the wall pack, and I'm here for a reason. I'm here because of these almshouses. That gives you a little bit of history on there. But there is a bit of history to do with this. This building here, quite a few people have lived here over the years, one of which is the subject of today's video. Now, I spent a great deal of time walking around the graveyard here. This is a little part of it. There's more there, and it goes on further out to the church. I was looking for the grave of a person who used to live in one of these. He was in his 80s. The stairs in this place got a bit too much for him, so he was moved over to the almshouses on Church Street, where the subject of my previous video, Frank Baines, lived. And we're going to go over there. And while we're going over there, I will reveal who this person is. Back in 1965, this man was a television scriptwriter. He'd already written scripts, but he was taken on by the BBC to be a story editor or script editor, as what they call them nowadays, for the television science fiction series Doctor Who. Yes, it's a Doctor Who connection. Who is this person? Well, the man, his name is Donald Tosh, and I will give you a little bit about him. Donald Tosh, born the 16th of March 1935 and died the 3rd of December 2019. He was a BBC scriptwriter who contributed to Doctor Who in 1965. He was the last surviving script editor and writer from the William Hartnell era. Before working on Doctor Who, Tosh was briefly script editor in the television series Compact, and had helped to develop the show that eventually became Coronation Street. Tosh was the story editor for the Doctor Who stories between The Time Meddler and The Massacre of St. Bartholomew's Eve, working with producers Verity Lambert and John Wiles. On Tosh's final story, The Massacre of St. Bartholomew's Eve by John Lucarotti, Tosh performed a substantial rewrite of the scripts. In Donald Tosh's own words, he says, John Lucarotti sent in a script and he hadn't had any time to do his research, which was very unlike him. He had missed the whole point of the story and everything else that was going in. It's a period I know quite a bit about, so I had to go away and rewrite it from page one. William Hartnell was a good actor, and I wanted to give him something different to do. So I gave William a doppelganger story where I got him to play the Abbot of Amboise, not just the Doctor. He had great fun doing it, as he wasn't having to learn all the usual scientific lines, as he had to do so as the old man. As a result of that, when he came back to playing the Doctor, his performance had really improved. I thought it worked brilliantly, and it's one I'm still very proud of. It's such a shame that the BBC no longer have it. After leaving television, Donald Tosh worked for a time for the English Heritage. He was head custodian of Sherborne Old Castle in Dorset and St Mawes in Cornwall. He retired to Essex in Coggeshall. Donald Tosh died on the 3rd of December 2019 at the age of 84. He's not buried in Coggeshall. His son took his body elsewhere, presumably to be buried in Scotland. This is where Donald ended up, and spent his last few years perhaps in Coggeshall, and as far as I've been able to find out, his son took him home, presumably to Scotland, but that needs to be confirmed. But I couldn't find anybody who knew where he was buried until I spoke to one person who said no, his son took him away. So there's no gravestone in Coggeshall, but his legacy is well known in Coggeshall. That's Donald Tosh, script editor for Doctor Who. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. Stay safe.